Welcome to the Wandiology podcast, where we learn and demystify astrology as a tool to gain a deeper understanding of our energetic signatures and our interactions with the world. Today, I am joined by a very, very, very lovely person, someone that I deeply respect, and I'm just going to give them the floor to introduce themselves.
Hello everybody. My name is Muthoni Njuguna. I'm an old friend of Wendy. It's been I think we've been friends for
More than a decade.
yeah since Form 1.
Mm.
Wow. And we've moved the same way since then.
Absolutely.
So in terms of career, I'm an ecologist, I'm a conservationist, I'm also a social entrepreneur. I like social impact, changing the world. So yeah, I think that's the best way to describe myself. I'm also a daughter, a friend, and a sister.
Oh, I love that. And if you didn't figure out what episode this is the Libra Archetype. Finally, I know it's been a while, guys, but we're finally here. Libras are known for being late, so we're here. Yes, so Muthoni, do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I do.
Uh-huh.
Let's begin with what could you give me as a summary?
Yeah.
As a Libra, who am I? How would you describe me?
I love that because you were just like, describe me now. and Libra energy is, it's fair, it's just. I don't know if you guys know like the glyph of Libra. It looks like a equal sign but with like a hump.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's like almost equal, right? So Libra energy really strives for fairness, balance, and harmony. Okay. So Libra is ruled by Venus, the planet Venus. Venus is about beauty, aesthetics, all the great things. It's about attraction, right? What do we value? What do we love? What do we hate? What do we resent? That's Venus. And Venus is about creating comfort. It loves an easy time, right?
True.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
yeah. It's a planet that's a benefic in astrology in that it benefits.
Ah,
Okay. As opposed to a malefic planet, which is like a bit more on the malicious side. It's harder on you. So Venus comes and just it brings a sense of, especially in Libra, because you can look at Venus as the ruler of Libra or Taurus. Right? And so because we're focusing on Libra, it's more about a sense of justice, right? So it's not all laughs because Saturn, which is a malefic planet, which is kind of like the planet of karma, discipline, restrictions, and such, is exalted in Libra.
Yeah.
So an exaltation means that maybe like you have a guest, right? So let's assume you like me because you know with Libras you never know because passive aggression and shit.
Oh wow.
Whether this episode, I just decided I'm going to go
I see.
in on Libras.
I see.
I'm going to go in on you guys.
Uh-huh.
But so let's just assume that I'm a guest you really, really like.
Yes.
And so you want to make your home very comfortable for me. And so you panga everything. There's a cozy blanket. You know exactly what I like. You cook what I like. That's an exaltation. That's how Saturn feels in the sign of Libra, right?
Yeah.
So when you see like a lot of people like associate Libras with just the the beauty and the aesthetics, but it's also very much about fairness and justice. So in the face of like a lot of Libra energy does not, it will see the whole entire perspective, right? And so when you are not a superficial Libra, you tend to be very fair. Like these are the lawyers, these are the judges, these are the lawmakers, right? Because they know exactly how everyone should be treated. And they truly deeply believe in like that fairness,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So what else about Libra? Libra is an air sign. It's a cardinal air sign. So what that means is Libra is at the beginning of fall, right? Or autumn. Sorry to use the West, but that's our reference. So we just have to.
It's the beginning of short rains in Kenya. We speak about our local seasons.
Absolutely. So when you think about that, that's
Yeah.
why it's a cardinal sign. The cardinal signs begin the seasons.
Yeah.
So when you think about Libra being the beginning of autumn, it's very much a starter energy. It's what do we do? Like, how do we bring fairness? How do we bring justice? How do we bring harmony? So they're very much the people who dream up the ideas, right? And because it's an air sign, the air modality is known for being detached, for being fair, and for being very intellectual. Yeah. So how do you feel about that explanation?
Well, I agree with you because fairness to me is very important. Not just equality, but equity. Because equality means everybody gets the same. Equity means everybody gets according to the situation they're in.
Love that.
Yeah. So even with what I do and how I go about life, I think I get into a lot of trouble with my friend because I tend to have a different view into life. I don't really, I can easily compartmentalize. So I can say that this one did this one did this. I'm not the friend you come to when you want, yeah, that person messed up.
Yeah.
But what was the role that you played? Can you agree that there's a role that you were playing as
Absolutely.
yeah. And then I've been told that I'm too understanding sometimes. I don't think I am. I just believe that the human condition can be marred by a lot of things. If you can see people beyond their human condition, if you actually see them for the soul that they are and the fact that they're trying, because the environment will change a lot of things for most of us. And I think over and over again, it's important that there's some sense of equal distribution of rights, resources, and representation. I know I sound like an advocate.
Tell them. No, that's exactly what
It's true. We need that balance. We need that harmony. And one of the reasons we are so detached right now when we're going through all these issues in life is because we're also detached from nature.
Absolutely.
We're not, we're not in that harmonious existence with the universal intelligence.
Talk to them.
And my goodness. Oh my, sometimes I see people struggling and I'm like, if only you looked within, because everything is here.
Yeah.
Yes, it's good to look up without sometimes because you need to care about everybody else, but you can't love if you don't love yourself. You can't give if you don't give yourself. It starts at home, then it percolates through to everybody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
that is so beautiful. Like, yes, yes. All right. So, I just feel like that was so profound, and I feel like why now my Libras, I'm always on like the socials bashing Libras because a lot of Libra sons that I've met are very superficial in the way they exude themselves, in that when you go to the like shadow side of Libra, it can be very superficial, very like just surface level. Okay, fine, I'm beautiful. But I feel like what you said about working within yourself, first of all, is very important, because the opposite sign of Libra is Aries. Aries is a sign of self. Libra is a sign of others.
I hear you.
Right? And as much as we need that, we need someone who sees another person's perspective. We need someone who seeks out harmony and balance. You cannot seek out that if you're blind to your own reality and what is happening within you. True. Right?
True.
And for context, Muthoni has an Aries moon. I have an Aries moon as well.
Yeah.
So that center, like our emotional beings are very self-centered. And I feel like that's why for me, like I needed to have you here, because I wanted a perspective of Libras choosing themselves first, choosing to work on themselves, and then giving from a point of you're giving from a full cup.
Yeah.
Because then when you don't do that and your focus becomes so external, it's dangerous.
Yes.
It's extremely dangerous. You become the most fickle person to ever exist.
I love that.
Yeah. And I have a Mercury Libra. I have a Libra Mercury as well.
Yeah.
You have a Libra Mercury as
do
well.
I. Yes.
And I feel like for me, it's something that I really struggled with, especially in my early 20s, which was people pleasing and going outside of myself constantly because I didn't want to do the work that was waiting to be done within myself. I didn't want to work on the trauma. I just wanted escape. And sometimes, like when you're looking for that escape, it finds you.
Yeah.
And you've known me for like more than a decade.
Rabbit
So
hole, man.
you've seen me in my pit era. You've seen me growing up. You've seen me in my formative years. And now you see me now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it's just like, I really need Libras to like understand there is nothing of value that is outside of you. Right?
True.
Like,
True.
that's where the value starts.
Yes.
Within you.
Yes.
That's all I have to say about that.
But then again, we need to recognize that there's a very huge part that the system and society play.
Absolutely.
Because I admit that I'm also I'm not yet a reformed people pleaser.
Yeah.
It's very easy for me to give, even to strangers. I mean, I see someone in need and I don't know, I'm a bleeding heart. I just want to help. I want to make things better for you.
Yeah.
But then up until I recognize that it's taking away from me, it's too energy intensive. You can't save everybody.
Yeah.
It was a hard realization
Yeah.
that nobody is coming to save you, even if you keep saving everybody else.
That part.
And that is really hard to come into terms with. It truly, truly is.
Absolutely.
But then the way we've been socialized, more so as Africans, is you seek without. Which school did you go to?
Yeah.
What's your career? What do you do?
Absolutely.
What car do you own?
Absolutely.
But then, it's due to the way we've been socialized. But now I feel like our generation is now coming into that. Oh, no.
Realization.
No.
Absolutely.
It's not about what society thinks. It's about what we think. Now that's why we're in this situation where our moms are like, why aren't you getting a husband? Why aren't you getting children? We're like, nah, I'll do this at my own time. Yeah. I think there's also that aspect to look at. But I agree with you that the Libra sign, you can be very vain sometimes. I see myself sometimes. I live a, larger than life.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true. So I hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
Then I think now we go to the houses, right? Not yet. But like I'm here.
We go to the planets. Yes.
Fine.
Which is like Sun, Moon, Mercury, as we learned in the solar system. So yeah, starting with Libra suns, like you.
Yeah.
What is okay, let me just give you a brief explanation of what the sun represents, and then you can tell me what your experience is being a Libra sun.
Okay.
So the sun in astrology represents your core, your self-esteem, your confidence. What are the things that feed into you being like, I am Muthoni, right?
Okay.
And how is that related to the sign of Libra? How is that related to justice and harmony? And
okay, I think one of the things, there's an exercise I did sometime last year where you were asked, if you remove everything, every function that you play in human society, who are you? And the word that I came down to was kind. I think I removed everything else and I realized I'm simply a kind person. And I think this kindness percolates through, how you should treat other human beings, how you should treat yourself, because we need to be very kind with ourselves, particularly with ourselves.
Yeah.
Self-love is one of the hardest things to figure out.
Absolutely.
It's unfortunate, but
It is. Yeah.
Also kindness with regard to relating with other species. Because we tend to have this mindset as humans that we dominate above everything else. We're superior, we're the apex predator. And I understand that when it comes to ecology, yes. If you're looking at the food chain, cool. But if you're looking at the harmonious way of leading life, there's something you can learn from a rock. Literally a rock.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because everything within itself, because we all come from the same place, right?
Yeah.
Through Big Bang and that expansion.
Yeah.
What compounds you find within yourself are the same ones that have created planets. So over and over, we need to recognize that there's something in everything and in everyone that you can learn from,
Yeah.
that you can love, that can reflect you, because the mind is mental. Your mind is mental. What you see is just a projection of who you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like it's mirroring you back. So if all you look at outside you and all you see is chaos, look
That
within.
exactly.
There's a lot of chaos in there.
Yeah.
But if you look and all you see is peace, then
There's
because
peace
it
inside you.
mirrors you back. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. And bringing it even back to astrology, because it's so beautiful how you said you can look at a rock and kind of like resonate.
Yeah.
And it's the whole basis of astrology. It's like when planets break away and we interact with those particles or whatever they are. Like, it's just how like the moon affects the tides, or like the plants need the sun to grow.
Yes.
And you think about how we're just like a micro,
True.
yeah, we're just a small part
Respect.
of everything that is happening, but everything is still happening parallel to each other in a way. And it's so beautiful how you said that. You use the word mirror, because that's a word that's used a lot describing Libra energy, in that they mirror other people. But also Libra has to do a lot with relationships with other people. And you see, for example, I thought about how people say when you're in a relationship with someone, you're projecting your goodness onto them.
True.
And that's why, for example, in the honeymoon phase, you'll feel like, oh my God, this is everything. Because you're projecting your own goodness, your own great traits onto them. And that's why when it ends, people feel like, oh, I lost this person. But you didn't, because the whole time, all that you were projecting was within you.
Yes.
Yeah.
True. That is so true. Oh, man, that's such a beautiful way to put it too. Yeah.
So, yes, so we can move forward to the moon in Libra. I am surrounded by Libra moons. Oh my God, my sister is a Libra moon, my partner is a Libra moon. And I feel like it's just, again, the mirror thing.
Yeah.
These people balance me out, because let me tell you, I was shit at self-regulating. Bitch, I will get mad at any smallest thing.
Yes. You can explode.
Listen, you know me.
You implode from within. You bubble.
And did you see how I handled, like, for example, when we were supposed to shoot and I just was like, let's go home. I talked to my partner who is a Libra moon, and they were like, like this energy of, for me, having Libra moons around me, including my sister and some of my friends even, is very grounding. It really shows me the areas where I'm neglecting myself emotionally, in that they're the polar opposite of me. The Libra moons I have in my life will not go outside of their character when they're disturbed emotionally, right?
Yeah.
They know how to just not let things take them out of character, right? And they're very diplomatic when it comes to even the way they handle their emotions. They're very just, it's never that serious. Like, it's okay, take your time. Yeah, then because for me now, it's like I need to feel all these things right now. And that's how it feels in my body. It's like I am going to explode if I don't talk shit or do something, or just, be dramatic about it. But then this is also like an energy that can be very indecisive. So the moon is about emotions. It's about our daily habits. So like, for example, for me on a daily basis, when like I'm by myself, I'm very fast moving. Aries is a very like fast sign, like we want to do this and this and this and this and this. So I'm very fast moving. Like I'll read a book and then I'll go cook and then I'll do this and then I'll like very fast I don't even think about it. It's instinctual. So that's the same way I react. Right? So if I feel like something overwhelming, I need to deal with it at that point because it's very instinctive for me, as opposed to like the people I'm surrounded by who, first of all, my mom is an air moon, but then my sister is a Libra moon, my partner is a Libra moon. So whenever they react, it's very like, let's give it time, let's talk about it. And for the longest time, I had this reaction that was very fight or flight. So it was either fight or leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, I realized that I was in so many cycles of dysregulation within my body. And Libra moons have really helped me to deal with that, to be like, it's okay. Like, it's a space of fairness. There won't be repercussions if you feel your emotions. Because then in the past, it was like, let's fight, let's ghost, let's not talk to each other. It was very combative.
Oh, yeah.
But then being drawn into this space of fairness and being just held like that has been so life-changing for me. So I love Libra moons. I love Libra moons across the board. I do feel like they struggle with indecision because, as I was saying, Libra being about like daily habits. And so them making decisions, they take their time. They'll give you their time, but they'll also take their time. And so I've come to learn like it's just something that it's a give or take. You can't expect to have someone like give you that time, but then when they need their own time, you can't make space for them. So in that way, it's also taught me to have like some Libra qualities in myself, in that, okay, we're taking time, like we need to be fair about this. And it's not always a you thing, sometimes it's a other thing. Right? And the thing is, like, you guys decide what you want in the supermarket. Like, bro, I will be with my sister and my partner in the supermarket.
Oh my.
And they'll be like, what do we get for like a good 5 minutes. And then I have to be like, just get what you want. Like, they have now to feel that energy of just decide. And so sometimes I feel like why they also gravitate towards me is that I'm able to stand up and voice things.
True.
Where they may not be able to do that.
Yeah.
So, that's my experience with Libra moons. Yes.
I like how you've put it that way. Also, it's lovely that you have people around you who are grounding you.
I do.
More so your partner.
Yeah.
Brilliant human being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big up to them wherever they are. We will not be specific.
Big up to them.
Big up to them wherever they are. Yeah.
So we can move on to Libra Mercury, which is what we are.
Yes.
Me and you and Beyonce. So Libra Mercuries were very intelligent communicators, right? So we're always coming from a point of fact, or like just we're well-spoken people. As well as being people who love the arts and beauty and aesthetics. Like, when I think about myself and how I would like to express myself to the world, a lot of it has to do with makeup. It has to do with music, even maybe like some things I even do artistically people don't know about, because also like having a sense of diplomacy when we speak. I've noticed that for myself, when I speak a lot, I try to have a fair approach to how I'm communicating. In that, even if I tell you, like, because like now, for example, as a Virgo sun, I can be very critical. Right? Or like nitpicky. So for example, if I see something that has not been done in like a proper way, in the way I consider proper, right now I'm able to communicate in a way that is very tactful, right? So I'll be like, can we do this? So it'll be like more in a like, let us do this so I can show you, but subconsciously it's my way of correcting,
of trying to show you
exactly. So that's something I've noticed in the way I speak. It's very balanced. I try to balance my speech because at the end of the day, it's the way you look at things, and like, people are so complex in their realities, in their pasts, in their experiences. So you cannot just have a blanket, statement for everyone.
Everybody.
Yeah,
that's true.
So I don't know how it has manifested for you, but you can tell us.
I think off the top of my head, artistically, yes. Oh, I love dancing.
Yes.
I
Yes.
truly, truly love dancing. That's I'm also I consider myself a wordsmith.
Mm.
I love speaking to people. I love
Absolutely.
writing. I love going to art galleries. I love art.
Yeah.
And I'm also very philosophical
You are.
in my way of thinking and in my approach to
Yes.
life.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to diplomacy, I'd say that I'm almost like a born diplomat, but that probably has also something to do with my dad.
Yeah. Yes, your
I'm a
dad is
very
amazing.
diplomatic
Yeah.
dad.
Yeah.
It was fascinating for me to grow up in a home where gender roles were not so,
Yeah.
a guy would go to the kitchen and make you lunch every Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
The dude makes breakfast every morning. I mean,
What?
yeah.
What sign is your dad?
He's a Virgo.
Oh, we up. Virgos, we up. You heard?
Oh my.
Yeah.
So I know that in my way of approaching life in and of itself, I'm very diplomatic in it because I tend to remove myself from situations. I look at it from my perspective, the other person's perspective, and then I try to look at it from a third eye as well. 'Cause
I love
sometimes
that.
there are things that are at play that you may not really pick up on. And when you're really in that space, sometimes like when I'm emotionally charged, I personally take some time and walk away.
Yeah.
I don't like reacting.
Yeah.
I prefer to respond. So take
That
my
is
time.
such a Libra thing to say. That is such a Libra thing to say. I don't like reacting. I like to respond.
But it's true though,
Yeah.
because some doesn't mean that I don't react. Yes, I do. I have moments where, hey yo,
Yeah.
penye umenifikisha hata wewe sasa tutapigana. But at the same time, there's that space and grace you extend to everybody.
Beautiful.
You're like, you know what? You probably just had a bad day, and because if I'm to lash out at everybody who's lashing out at me, then that I'll expend a
Too
lot
much
of
energy. Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
because it's something I'm also learning myself, how to be energy conservative. Because I
Self-preserving.
know for a fact I offer myself up. I'm like when I started therapy, my therapist asked me, who do you think, like who what did she ask me? Who anointed you the Messiah?
Oh.
Literally. That's what she asked me. She's like, why do you keep trying to save everybody else? Yet within you, you're neglecting yourself
Yeah.
over and over again for your family, and then you're calling it service. It's not.
I love that so much.
But it's true.
Yeah.
It was so hard to learn.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, but it's so true. I just offer myself up, use me. But then I'm like,
Use me. Oh wow.
Like, how can I be helpful? But there are moments when you're not required to be helpful. There are moments when you need to be decisive, as you say. Not that because I want to have chicken and now you want to have beef and he wants to have beef, I say, oh, no. Let's have chicken.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Today I can say let's have chicken. We don't have to have beef because everybody else
Wants to have beef. Tell
And that was
them.
very hard for me to come
I love
into
that.
terms with.
Yeah.
But as you've said, diplomacy it shows up a lot.
Yeah.
Even in the way you're calling somebody out, even in the way I work. When I'm trying to talk to somebody and trying to correct them about something, I try to show them like, hey, it's not you're doing. No. How about let's do an appraisal. Tell me
Beautiful.
where are you lacking? What's the gap? How can I help?
Yeah.
Because it's more often than not about the person. Yeah.
Yeah.
There could be other external things that are
Factors.
going on, or capacity.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
Until you talk to somebody, not talk at, talk to somebody.
Tell
Is when
them.
you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And actually, something that I forgot to mention about Libra suns, it's that the sun does very well in Aries. The sun is at home in Aries. So, like, you being at home, comfortable, knowing where everything is, that's how the sun feels in Aries, because the sun is exuding confidence, right? The sun is self-esteem. Who am I?
Yeah.
And in Aries, we are like very sure beings. We're like, I am confident.
Yes.
I am bold.
Yes.
So the opposite sign of Aries being Libra, then it does not do so well.
Yeah.
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 It's in detriment because then you think about Libra and just always kind of being affiliated with other, thinking about other people's needs. And so when that is taking away from who you are, and your confidence,
True.
right?
True.
Your value cannot consistently come out from things outside of you. It's not about beauty standards, it's not about beauty trends, it's not about what art people are making, and so you're making art from a point of other people are making that.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of Libra sons that I've met are notorious for copying other people.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's in an attempt to relate, I understand, but don't let that take you out of your authenticity.
True.
Okay,
Very true.
that's a point I wanted to state before moving on to Libra Venus. And Venus is at home in Libra. Venus loves all things Libra,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I have met several people with Venus in Libra. Oh my God, that's beautiful. Yes. And I love people with Venus in Libra because they just know how to give you, they know how to give, they know how to gift, they know how to listen to your needs and to be attentive. And I feel like they just know, like for them, even it's like money is a resource,
Yes.
it's not the end goal.
Yes.
So let me lavish you. Let me make you feel like you matter, right? And so I feel like just Venus is so happy here because we're able to be ourselves. We're able to give. We're able to form connections with other people. We're able to have relationships. I will just tell people with Venus and Libra, please, kind of like give where there's reciprocity. Please. Give where there's reciprocity. Don't be doing all these things. You're cooking for someone, you're bringing them gifts, you're doing everything, and they're just that pillow princessing. Like, not that pillow princessing is bad, but reciprocity is so important for a Libra Venus because it's very easy. It's almost like breathing for you guys to just be amazing lovers, like, amazing people to be in relationships with and such. But please, reciprocity is important so that you don't feel resentful. Because that's the shadow side of Venus in Libra.
Yes.
It's you're doing. No one is telling you to do, as your therapist said. But you feel like you have this obligation.
Yeah.
And it's not an obligation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You feel like it's almost duty to do this, to serve other people, to make them happy. All while neglecting yourself. Don't. Giving is great as long as you're giving from a full cup and there's reciprocity.
True.
But that self-betrayal is a problem. It's an issue that you should look at if you have Libra placements.
Okay.
Look at where you're doing too much, overcompensating, overextending. Yeah.
I think I agree with you more so because I have experienced that a lot where, because it's very natural for me to give.
Yeah.
I'll get to a point and then I'll start feeling like you're taking advantage of me. Or there are people who will genuinely take advantage of you because, I mean, you offer. You keep offering yourself up. So I like how you said it,
It's okay.
Reciprocity is important.
It's fine. It's okay.
But it's true. It's true. The give and take. And that's a very hard thing to learn.
Yeah.
It's really, really hard to learn
Difficult.
how to. Yes.
I can imagine. Absolutely.
Actually, I'm learning to be comfortable with being given.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it feels very strange.
Uh-huh.
I feel like when you give me, now I owe you.
Yes.
Now I need to do something to counter,
what you gave me.
Yes. So if you buy me a gift today, randomly, like, hey, Mfani, here you go. I'll keep thinking, okay, I need to get you something. Now it's somewhere in a book.
Yeah.
Not because I have to. It's just almost natural that I want to give. Yeah. So I hear you.
Absolutely. And you guys are also amazing at art and beauty and aesthetics. So if you have a Venus in Libra, these are things, even for yourself, you should definitely be looking at, like paint. Go where the wind takes you. Like, God knew not to give me a Venus in Libra. Angeribu.
Kwa nini?
Angeribu.
Hiyo ingeenda.
Ingenda. Oh my God. I'd be in Paris somewhere, wing. And yeah, so that's a placement I really appreciate. And then we go to Mars in Libra, which also is, so Mars has its exaltation in the sign of Aries, right? No, actually Mars is at home in Aries. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The sun, sorry, is exalted in Aries. Right? It's not at home in Aries. The sun is at home in Leo. But Mars is at home in Aries. So naturally, Mars is in detriment in Libra, right? And the sun is in fall in Libra.
Yeah.
Just to make that correction. But moving on, this means that these energies are not very cohesive, because Mars is a planet of conflict, aggression, activity. What do we need to do? Right? How do we need to exert ourselves in the world?
I hear you.
Where do you need to be more aggressive? Where do you need to be more combative? Where do you need to stand up for things? And Libra does. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, my Aries moon is like, yes. But then with Mars in Libra now, it's just you're craving fairness, even with how you exert yourself. You want it to be fair. You want justice. You take a bit more of a passive, feel. And what I've noticed with people in Mars in Libra is like they can tend to be very poor communicators, almost not stand up for themselves at all, because they have this way of just being passive aggressive. I'm not going to deal with it. If it makes me the slightest bit uncomfortable, I'm not going to deal with it. But, Yoni, that's the lesson. That is the lesson for Mars and Libra people, is you need to just be a bit, try to assert yourself more, try to be a bit confident, try to work within, right? So that you can exude that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not always going to be, like, the world is a very harsh place. It's not always going to be about fairness and harmony, and we know that, right?
Yeah.
So you need to be able to protect yourself, to stand up for yourself, to stand up for other people. Yeah, and your goals and your ambitions. So that's my message for Mars in Libra. Then we move on to Jupiter in Libra. I don't know where your Mars is. Is it in Libra? No, your Mars is in Scorpio. Oh, you have really nice placements.
Thank you.
Wow.
Lovely human being.
Yeah. So Jupiter in Libra Jupiter is a planet of abundance and luck. So it's kind of, where do you attract luck and fortune? So people with Jupiter and Libra will attract abundance when they're fair, when they're honest, when they're just, right? Now, this is where you need to embody the Libran traits. You need to be diplomatic, right? You need to be graceful. You need to be civilized. Yes, right? You need to have, pay attention to your aesthetics, pay attention to how you groom yourself. All those Libra kind of like qualities will attract abundance for you. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
So moving on to Saturn in Libra. And Saturn is a planet of limitations, isolation. It's like very father energy, like a strict dad. And it's the planet also that deals with karma. It deals with, what do I call it? Like time, right? It rules over time. And isolation, as I said. And I told you earlier that Saturn has its exaltation in Libra. So Saturn loves Libra. And I feel like it loves Libra because at the end of the day, Libra is about true fairness. Not this fairness of kicking and people pleasing, right? It's about how you said, like, if you need a friend who is just going to go along with your delusions, you're not the person to call. And I feel like that's the point with Libra, that people could mistake Libra energy for, oh, it's too people pleasing, it's too this. But that's because that's the superficial side of it. If you look at Saturn as a planet and its malefic nature, And it liking Libra, it really makes you think about true like Libra energy and how it expresses itself. And when you think about people like lawmakers, people who have like studied intellectually and socially and have looked at all situations and they've decided this is the law. Like those are very, you know, I don't know, like they're very highly respectable people. And then I think about Saturn being about karma. And you think about karma and justice. You think about fairness. You think about Saturn being about isolation, right? And I feel like part of justice is how you have to take the bad people away from the population for a while so that they can be rehabilitated. And that's isolation, right? And I also think about time it takes to rehabilitate bad behavior, time it takes to achieve harmony and fairness, and even time it takes to create beautiful things, to groom yourself. Like it takes time, right? And so I feel like this is just beautiful. But with Saturn, because it's a restricting energy, you have to be aware of how this energy can manifest in a superficial way, right? You don't want to deal with Libra energy in a very shallow manner. You want to dig deep, right? And I feel like over the years, that's when like the people who I look at and they have Libra placements and I'm like, I see you, like I see. And it's very hard to understand that energy when you're constantly thinking about yourself.
True.
But when you take yourself out of perspective and kind of try and have that feeling of, oh, like it's a whole story going on here. You remember like when we were in drama and you had to cram your lines and you had to do everything, but then the audience watches everything from an outside perspective. And I feel like just having that viewpoint has really changed even the way I relate with people, because that's what Libra is about. It's relationships. So just make sure that so that Saturn does not rock you and bring you bad karma, you're exercising these things in healthy ways. Even in relationships, you're not over giving, right? You're not overextending.
True.
Right? You're being tactful and diplomatic even with yourself. Yes. So I think the next planet is Neptune, which is the planet that rules over illusion. Right? It rules over imagination, dreams. It rules over, what does Neptune rule over? Even, let's say, like creativity loosely, because this is where you come and imagine. It rules over spirituality, right? Then Neptune in Libra, what you have to be very cautious in your chart where you have Neptune is the tendency to be disillusioned in that area. So are you disillusioned in your relationships? Right? What are you not seeing clearly? Are you disillusioned even in like this law making policies? Like, where is it you're lying to yourself? Yeah. Because Neptune can bring kind of like a deceptive feel to things, right? And so you have to be very cautious about how you relate to other people, right? How are you appearing in relationships? That's the vibe.
The Lulu is a Sulu.
The Lulu is a oh my god, the Lulu is a Solulu. That's Neptune for you. Yeah, and I really fear Neptune because I'm like, oh, I don't want to be disillusioned, especially because I have my Neptune in my house of relationships. So it's like, why am I lying to myself? So I try very hard every day to like have a conscious kind of like, I don't know, a conscious accountability within my relationships. Like I'll ask my partner, I'll sit down and I'll be like, okay, I feel like this is something I haven't talked about, and I know I can have the tendency to sweep it under the rug. So can we
talk about this or figure this out?
Yeah, and it's been so good. I'm so grown up now. Yeah.
Go you, growing.
Go me, go me. So the next planet is Uranus. Stop, get your head out of the gutter. Uranus is a planet of innovation, where you go to be innovative, where you go to be against the grain. This is where you stand out. So these are the people who are innovative, even like within the law. Like, what laws are people making? Like, are we decriminalizing prostitution, sex work? Like, are we, fighting for queer rights and things like that? And so this is like where the innovation comes in. It's the need to break down restrictions around existing systems. Yeah. That's Uranus. And in Libra, it has to do with innovating, whether it's in beauty spaces, in art, in like the law, whether it's in relationships, right? So this is where you feel a need even to be authentic within relationships. You feel a need to not do it the way everyone does it. Like, we get married, we fight, then we say you're not allowed to divorce and such bullshit. So yeah.
Oh my. I think that's giving me unconventionality.
That's exactly the word.
Yes.
You see, intellectual. Yeah. Then the final planet is Pluto. And Pluto is the planet of transformation, very deep transformation, almost painful transformation. It's a planet of death and rebirth and things of the sort. It's also where, like, it shows you where you're powerful. Where does your power reside? And so for me, Pluto in Libra, or generally in astrology, Pluto in Libra is giving power within the context of relationships. You can easily tap into the power of being social, having social graces, relating to other people. And that can really help you become a powerful person even in society, right? When I think of someone who is able to harness Libra energy well, and I say this very loosely, like, this is a very loose compliment, because there are things about this person that I really don't agree with in terms of their personal politics. But I think of Kim Kardashian. She's a Libra sun. And I don't know if she has any other Libra placements, but Kim has been able to build and build and build just by being detached in a certain way. It started with a sexting, right? And her using that to be able to transform into something else. And then she's in law now. Yeah.
That was
wow. Yeah.
Who saw that coming?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like she's a person who really exudes Libra energy for me. And sometimes that can feel irritating, but that's my personal business and bullshit to work on. But with Kim, I just feel like she does it so well because she's able to capitalize on every opportunity. Like, you can't throw her something that she won't turn around and make money on.
That's true.
And at the end of the day, Libra is also about business and tact, right? It's about businessmen and women.
Yeah.
And this year, she was even in GQ Man of the Year. GQ Man of the Year, not even woman. And like, only a Libra to me can do those things. I feel like when they're really in their energy, they can be trendsetters.
Yes.
But they can also exploit, which is why I'm also using this example very loosely, because it's like there's a lot of Black people who have worked for her who feel exploited. Allegedly. Let me use allegedly. Yeah. So, yeah, I feel like that's someone who exudes Libra energy pretty well. And so Pluto in Libra is finding power within these themes, within relationships, within social graces, within tact, finding power within sometimes even being just detached, right, from situations. Yeah, not personalizing everything. But also another thing is just to watch out for codependency, things of the sort, right? Don't be too dependent on being in a relationship with someone, right? Or climbing up the ladder or things of the sort. Like, I feel like at the end of the day, Libra energy is primed to be graceful and harmonious. But just make sure that your goal is it has depth. It's just not superficial. Like the goal can't just be money and beauty.
Yes.
It's like Libras have very powerful ways of creating impact. So create the impact. And that lies far beyond the money, far beyond the beauty, like far beyond the aesthetics.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. I think that Libras should be purpose driven, as you've said. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Where you're not just driven by, because it's very easy to get disillusioned by what's going on around you. But if you sit down, dig deep, what is it that you really care about?
Absolutely.
Yeah? Then now chase that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, yeah, that brings us to the end of the planets in Libra. I would also like to really talk about the nodes in Libra. I have North Node in Libra. You have North Node in Libra.
Yes.
I think our generation has North Node in Libra. And for us, the nodes of the moon, as I've explained in the other videos, but the nodes just kind of represent like karmic destiny, right? So it's like our lessons in this lifetime, me and you, are very Libran. And that's why, for me, like this energy has always been so challenging, because this is also where I have Chiron, which Chiron is kind of like the wound that you have in this lifetime.
Yeah.
And mine is in Libra.
So is mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like sitting with that energy and kind of just day by day learning to, appreciate that energy. And I feel like right now I'm in a place where, okay, it's like I can stand y'all. Like, wow, like we can sit in a room together and I will enjoy the hell out of your perspective. And I feel like that's an ode to a lot. And now, like, the North Node is for us to be more social, more tactful, more diplomatic, right? More other-oriented. And our South Node is in Aries.
Yeah.
Our moons as well.
Interesting.
Yes, which is very self-oriented. So we're comfortable with ourselves, right? And I feel like it's why it's so easy for us to tell people, oh, be comfortable within yourself.
Yes.
But it's not always that apparent.
That's true.
So Libras, take it a day at a time. We also have to, like, we're learning from you as well. So our lessons are about incorporating others.
Yes.
Yeah. And for me, what I've taken from that in my life is I want to create impact in this life.
True.
And so I know for me, I will work on all my biases. I will not cock block myself in this life. I'm sorry.
Don't stand in your own way.
Yes, I will not be my own hater. And so for that, I really know that I am going to be coming across a lot of Libra people. And I'm already surrounded by a lot of Libra energy. I have a lot of Libra energy in my chart.
Yeah.
And like it's just a way of, I don't know, it's just a learning process.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I think also part of being a Libra is being comfortable with failure, if that makes sense.
Yes.
It's very difficult to alchemize your failure into opportunity. It truly is. But part of, the Libra experience is actually sitting with it.
That part.
And then it's difficult.
That part.
And calling yourself to that table. I did fuck up.
Mm.
Sure I did.
Yeah.
But hey, it's okay.
Yeah.
What can I learn?
Yeah.
And how can I grow from
I
this?
love that.
Because if you beat yourself up, because there's a lot of guilt, you can really, I feel like that's another shadow side of
yes,
Libra.
Guilt.
You have a lot of guilt.
Absolutely.
You feel like you're never doing
absolutely
enough.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Especially social guilt, even because it's more from, because also Libra energy is very comparative. We love to compare. What is that person doing? Why am I not there? Why? And you need to stay away from that. You need to consciously remind yourself that it's baby steps.
True.
Yeah, every single day.
Yeah.
So that is a wrap on Libra, and I will just like you to plug your social media for the people.
Right.
Oh, before we go forward, Libra celebrity. Yes. So I Kim Kardashian, I said.
You mentioned
Cardi B. Will Smith. And think about how all these people are very likable.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a charming personality to Libra sons, especially. I know Beyonce is a Libra Mercury. Actually, I know she has a lot of Libra placements. Mercury, Venus. Some people think she's a Libra rising. Shout out to my baby sister, Libra Moon and Rising.
Yeah.
My partner is a Libra Moon. Who else? Celebrity wise. Why am I forgetting now? Because I know all these people. Yes, Will Smith. I said Will Smith. Why am I forgetting? I actually can't remember any other Libras. Yeah. But those are the notable ones that I can remember for now.
Yeah.
So yes, now we can move on to plugging your socials.
All right. So this is Instagram. And,
Yes.
okay. So on Instagram, the underscore Muthoni underscore. LinkedIn, Muthoni Njuguna. Twitter, Muthoni Njuguna. I am myself in almost every other space.
Yeah.
Facebook, I don't think I consider Facebook part of my social media anymore. Yeah, I think that's that from me.
Lovely.
Yes.
I had so much fun. I'm always in awe of your perspective, and I really appreciate you as a person. Yeah. You're someone I consider to be a very healthy Libra person.
Thank you.
Yes. So you can find me on at Wandiology. You can find the podcast on the Wandiology podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And I'll see you on the next episode, which is Libra Through the Houses. Bye.
Bye.